Hi, my name is Izzy, and today I'll be discussing my paper done on the HEXACO personality inventory. This replication study tests Ashton and Lee's claims of validity and orthogonality of the HEXACO personality inventory. So we have the HEXACO dimensions here, and every dimension represents a general pattern of behaviors. Patterns of evidence were analyzed through the lens of Messick's framework of construct validity. Most importantly, we're looking at the internal structure of HEXACO and the relations to other variables. Internal structure reflects the validity of results within or internal to a study, so we expect all HEXACO dimensions should have little to no correlation to one another. The relations to other variables represents the dimension's ability to accurately measure what it claims to measure by comparing dimensions to secondary measures that they should be similar to. For example, high O scores should have a strong correlation to estimated time spent outside scores. So the results confirmed orthogonality but could not confirm convergent validity of the secondary measures, but I'll go into greater detail in the upcoming slides. Is HEXACO a valid personality measure? Are the dimensions orthogonal? Why do we care? Well, personality assessment has great applications in multiple disciplines such as social, forensic, and educational psychology. So if HEXACO is a valid and orthogonal personality measure, it can serve as a tool in various disciplines. We have Hypothesis 1, which is testing for convergent validity in relation to other variables, Hypothesis 2, which tests for divergent validity of the internal structure, and Hypothesis 3, which is the null. Within the literature, Lee and Ashton found weak correlations of the HH dimension with other traits, but high correlations between HEXACO's A and the 5-factor model's A. This leads to the tentative conclusion that HH is not captured by the 5-factor model accurately. In our study, we can verify if Lee and Ashton's findings are replicable. If orthogonality is confirmed, then questions of the 5 factors' ability to accurately capture honesty and humility can be raised. So the study included 65 students from a research methods class at Concordia University. It should be noted that 5 students were removed from the study, leading to 60 participants being sampled for the study. For the HEXACO test, some of the keys were reverse coded so that participants were less likely to have a response bias. For moral identity, participants were primed by being asked to think about what it would be like to be a good person. They were then asked to rank the importance of morality to their identity. The 3 items were not modified specifically for the test. Then we have the BB score, which used abstract syllogisms, and I've included an example of a self-focused dimension here. So the 4 questions requested participants to mark their estimated time outside, GPA, intelligence, and ethical importance. And the procedure was done in the following order: HEXACO, 4 questions, moral ID, and BB score. First, we have the findings for the correlations done comparing different dimensions. As you can see, negligible correlations were found between HEXACO dimensions, which supports Hypothesis 2's assumption of orthogonality and divergent validity. These results also confirm Ashton and Lee's findings of HEXACO's orthogonality. We have the strongest correlation between conscientiousness and extroversion, and the weakest correlation between openness and conscientiousness. But notice that when I say it is the strongest, it's just the strongest out of all the findings. It doesn't actually mean that it is a significant finding in any way. In reality, it is considered a low positive correlation when interpreted. Negligible to low positive correlations were found between HEXACO and secondary measures, leading to the rejection of Hypothesis 1 and disconfirming assumptions of convergent validity. The findings were somewhat inconsistent with previous research done by Ashton and Lee, as they found significant results. Flaws in our study may have resulted in this lack of replication, such as an absence of a page break between moral identity syllogisms and belief bias syllogisms. Here we have our strong and weak variables, with conscientiousness and estimated GPA being the strongest. And note that not all these results within the scope of the paper, so you can just ignore the last 4 on the chart there. So in conclusion, the assumptions previously made with the hypothesis were only partially met. Using Pearson's correlation sizes to interpret the data, only low to negligible correlations were found between HEXACO and secondary measures. This leads us to reject Hypothesis 1 and further question HEXACO's validity as a personality measure. Hypothesis 2 can be retained, as no correlations between HEXACO trait dimensions were found. Overall, these mixed results imply that further analysis of HEXACO as a personality measure is required, as well as a critical examination of the methods used to test these personality structures. So thank you for watching my presentation, and here are my references.